Okay.
Ayan.
Got it.
Okay. So am I audible?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so let's start. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a great day because it's finally Friday. Few more hours before the weekend starts, but before that, come join us first for our first episode of Silakbo, the backstories behind these stories. If you're in the mood, you might even want to reread the anthology as you listen to Taylor's Midnight. Anyway, this session is brought to you by the Independent Collective. I am Carla, your communications head. And today we'll be interviewing one of our IndieCo writers, Ava Arnejo. Hi, Ava.
Hey, Carla.
How's your
Yeah,
week
thanks for
going?
having me here.
Nice to have you here.
Uh,
How are you doing?
yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, like it's okay as
Work
adult
stuff. How
weeks
about work
go.
stuff?
Yeah.
Stressful.
As
so, that,
far as adult weeks go, it's good.
so that's great to hear. Pero I want to ask how you're doing. Pero that's like a common question to ask. Well, since we're writers naman here, we can do some like creative twist. So maybe I can ask you, what's something about today that you would like to write about? Or maybe this week
Hmm.
or this month, whatever time feels closer to you. Do you have any stories you would like to particularly share?
Yeah, I've been particularly fascinated. What a word. I've been I've been particularly fascinated with clouds lately. Like I don't know, clouds are just clouds, but I want to write about clouds. So yeah,
Mm,
and I'm also working on various pieces just
mm.
to get my name out there, submitting
Wow, that's good
wherever.
to hear. Like, oh, so super ganda rin talaga ng clouds. Like, parang ang dami mong pwedeng masulat about sa kanya, di ba? Kasi super
Yeah.
mysterious niya. Minsan very, like white lang siya and then gray. Like, you can attach, parang associate different meanings to it, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very
Yes, yes.
excited to read kapag may nasulat ka na about that. Pero like,
I don't know about it though.
people usually say na, like, you write better now when you're like inspired with pain. So what do you think about that?
I don't know, but I've heard
Mhm.
that a lot of times. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, and then in fact, I was so curious about it that people actually study that. I mean, there are a lot of studies na nagsasabi or like they support na parang people with mildly negative moods may actually
Mhm.
promote more accurate and more accommodating
Yeah, that's
and
right.
successful communication style.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Pero yeah, I mean, parang skeptic no pero I
True.
mean yeah. But
Pero,
personally my favorite
personally.
books Lord of the Rings and
Mhm.
Silmarillion by G.R.R. Tolkien.
Mhm.
Um it had themes of sadness or
Sadness, like
melancholy and
tragedy.
resignation.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like imagine an age ending, magic leaving the world.
It's
And
right.
then yeah, it's kind of sad, but yeah. And also Sylvia Plath,
Yeah,
Virginia
that's
Woolf,
right.
Oscar Wilde. Those are my favorite authors, and they often talked of sadness, and they were
Mhm.
clinically sad.
That's
So
right.
yeah, maybe there's some truth to it. I'm not
Mm.
sure though.
Siguro
Yeah.
maybe because like when the topic is kind of sad or tragic, mas nagli-leave siya ng mark as compared to, alam mo yon, yung happy stories. I mean,
Yeah.
we love the happy stories, like the things that make us believe na, okay, possible pala to. But sometimes mas magandang nakaka-relate talaga tayo, di ba?
Yeah.
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 Okay, dahil
That's
napasok
true.
na rin naman sa usapan, so we're talking about love and the theme. So, since yun yung theme ng anthology series natin, for our audience who haven't yet read the book, can you give them like a glimpse of the piece that you've written for the anthology?
Yeah, so basically it started when I was in third grade.
Mm.
Yeah, it was just I don't know, curious question,
Mhm.
but it stayed with me for like
Mhm.
my entire life.
Mhm.
So basically the question was that if God was love,
Mhm. That's right.
what did love or what did God look like?
Mhm.
So basically the piece or the essay was about my experiences of the different forms of love that
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced,
Mm-hmm.
and most especially or most importantly, I wanted to highlight the fact that we often look for love in big
Mm-hmm.
gestures, in
True.
grand
Grand, grand.
celebrations and all that stuff, like that. We often forget that there's so much love in small things. There's so much love that comes in small packages, and
Mm-hmm.
we often mistake it as the ordinary stuff. And I
That's
wanted
right.
to bring it to the front, or to highlight it. Yeah, the idea that love can sometimes be ordinary,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so ordinary that we often don't see it.
Yeah, we often take it for granted, right?
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's the sad part, I think. Siguro, I think we take it for granted kasi we're always looking for the like grand gestures talaga. Yung napapanood
Yeah,
natin.
yung
Maybe it's because of the ano rin. Maybe yung mga movies, ganon, like some books.
yeah, yeah,
Siguro
yeah,
because of that, tumataas yung expectations natin and standards. Wherein yung sinulat
yeah,
naman, minsan idealistic lang talaga siya from the thoughts and ideas din ng writer. So, minsan we
yeah,
tend to, alam mo yun, parang overestimate the ability of people to show their, di ba? And yung, siguro,
yeah, yeah,
yung problem ko dun is minsan, we tend to like equate people's level of emotions. So, yung parang iniisip natin pare-pareho dapat. Or yung way natin ng,
yeah,
yung, ng pagpakita sa kanila ng love or emotions, dapat same level din
yeah,
yung sa kanila. Where in fact, super iba, di
yeah.
ba? It's like
Oo,
really
oo. Like,
different.
yeah, there's this idea of
Mhm.
reciprocity na
Yes,
parang like,
that's
if
right.
I give you 50%, you have,
That's
if you
right.
give me 50%, I'm gonna give you 50%. But it
Mhm.
doesn't work like that. I mean,
Yeah, that's
in
right.
reality, it doesn't. So yeah, I
Mhm.
wanted to highlight that one.
So, maganda yung like slight differences ganon when it comes to like love language, 'di ba? But when it's like super far different, sometimes yeah, mahirap to talaga yun with sa mga tao. So,
Yeah,
I was able to have the privilege of reading Ava stories for the audience, and guys, is where you're missing out a lot if you haven't had the chance to read her words yet. Like it's so the way she deliver her words talaga. And the story, it was really good. Yung, like, about how you, alam mo yun, yung paunti-unti mong in-explain how you were able to answer the question about that
yeah.
one. So, we really encourage the people to buy the book so that you can read Ava's stories. So, since napunta na rin naman tayo sa topic about writing, what may I just ask, like, when was the very first time you've written something? If naaalala mo pa.
Yeah. I've written something for like others. I mean, if I've written something for me, I can't remember. I think, yeah, maybe I can remember both, no? But I really remember na the
Mhm.
first time I wrote an essay, or like
Mhm.
a piece of work,
Mhm.
was when I was in third grade. Actually, yung teacher
Third
na
grade, wow!
third grade is third grade is like my breakthrough year, I guess.
Wow! I think, was that the time then where you, like, the thing you've
Yeah,
written? Ah,
yeah, it was the time that I started to ask so many questions.
questions.
Yeah, but it's for a science contest or an English
Mhm.
contest. I can't remember what subject particularly it is, but yeah, I wrote an essay for a contest, but it wasn't particularly my aha, I want to be a writer moment. Hindi
Ah,
ganun. In fact,
okay.
I didn't want to be a writer at
Mhm.
all. I wanted to be a storyteller. So,
Ah,
oh yeah,
storyteller.
kasi writing is like boring. I'm
Yeah, that's
so
right.
tamad ako nung dati eh. Tamad ako, kaya yeah, I don't want to write, but
Mhm.
I wanted to tell stories. So I
Mhm.
made up stories of my own, and then
Mm.
yeah, when I was, I think, 9 or 10, I
Mhm.
read The Hobbit for the first time.
Mm.
And it came with the map, yung map na parang
Mm.
pinapakita sa movie.
Yeah.
I had a whole page of it, and it was so good. The
So,
story was
parang
so
dun ka
good,
na-draw
and
na
it
parang ang
wasn't
ganda.
enough for me. Oo, yun yung parang, ay, ganito pala
Yung
yun.
parang turning moment mo na, okay, ang
Yes,
ganda, gusto ko
okay,
to.
I want to tell stories like
Sorry.
this. Parang ganon.
Ganun.
So,
Kasi di ba kapag writer, parang super laki ng sakop niya, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it sounds
yeah.
boring or it sounds parang minsan iniisip mo, hala, writing, is it writing essays o nga, non-fiction stuff, yung mga serious stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, basically. So parang at that time, yun
Mhm.
yung time na it's actually the first time that I picked up a pen and I
Mhm.
started telling my own stories. I
Mhm.
made my own map. And then
Ah.
while I made my own map, I visualized the people that lived in it. So parang, and yeah, siguro na-learn ko na rin na mag-write
Parang
because
na-adapt mo na rin.
yeah, writing is such a good way to tell
That's
stories. So
right.
yun.
So that's a very good thing pala. Like the third grade, that's just really your breakthrough kasi your idea for the anthology, for the Silakbo,
Yeah.
you started with there, right?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
your teacher was really able to spark that idea of sino ba mag-aakala na yung idea na yon years from now
Yeah.
gagawin mong published
Yeah,
essay,
I
right?
mean, who would have thought?
Yeah, that's right. Pero when was your like parang moment na, okay, I want to be a writer? Like parang something na gusto mong i-pursue? Or do you have a moment like that?
Nah, actually, I did not think of
Mm.
writing.
Like parang yung
Initially,
serious na
yeah,
passion.
yeah. Initially, I'd never thought of pursuing it. As a kid, it never occurred to me na writing could be a job. Because I
That's
have this,
right.
I have this idea that a job should be stressful. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's right.
a job is stressful, but you have to do it because it brings food to the table. So I
Yeah.
mean, kasi for me, writing is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So parang I couldn't categorize it as a job. As a
That's
job
right.
is something that I would hate. I don't want to hate writing. So siguro when I was in high school, I started
Mm-hmm.
to consider pursuing it.
Mm.
Yeah. So no high school pa lang, but
Mm-mm.
then again, a lot of people I know at that
Mm-hmm.
time discouraged me kasi parang sabi
Mm-hmm.
nila, sayang naman. Sayang naman,
Yeah.
pwede kang maging ganito, tapos magsusulat ka lang. Ganon. Wala,
Yeah.
di ka naman yayaman dyan. And for me, it's not about the money at all. It's just like, I wanted to pursue something. Like yung
Mm-hmm.
ikigai, kumbaga. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the idea of ikigai, that it's something that makes you feel fulfilled, and at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, you profit from it, and you help people
Mm.
with it. So parang, it's like the whole package. So,
Yeah.
writing for me is like that. So,
Mm.
eh, still, wala tayong backbone ng high school tayo. So, I took up another path. And
Mm-hmm.
but although it's something that I'm equally interested in, it's biology. So, yeah, I still enjoyed it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I
Pero
think,
like, I think people have this like natural perception kasi na writing could be like a definite career. Kasi they
yeah.
always, di ba, they always associate it with low-paying jobs and that's not really good kasi people like practicality, di ba? They just, yung mga passion when it comes to art, writing, drawing,
Art.
painting, they always tend to think of it as just a side hobby, di ba?
Yeah.
Sad
Yeah.
as it may seem talaga, pero that's the reality. When you write, people think
Mm-hmm.
na it can only be like on the sidelines.
Yeah,
Kasi,
yeah. Like you
di
can do in
ba?
your free time.
Yeah.
Free time mo lang.
Kasi sabi mo nga, di ba, it won't put food in the table. Di ba? Kasi
Yeah.
it's really hard to like find like a definite job for that.
Yeah.
Pero
Yeah.
it's something that's very fulfilling eh, di ba? When you write,
Mm-hmm.
when you're
Mm-hmm.
able to
Yes.
create something and yung power talaga ng words, it's so beautiful when you're able to put these words into some form na nabubuo yung message, yung
Yeah.
story. Something,
Yeah.
parang may impact talaga siya sa'yo, di ba, as a writer?
Mm-hmm.
Iba
Mm-hmm.
yung
Yes.
feeling. So,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. And since people always say na, don't pursue this one kasi ano, kasi nga hindi practical, ganon. For you,
Mm-hmm.
what's in it for you? Like, what's your very purpose of writing?
I think it's power. Charot.
That's right.
Power, kumbaga.
Yeah.
I mean, like, validation. Alam
Mm.
mo yun, imagine, thought, something intangible, and then you put it into words, it
Mm-hmm.
takes form. It's like
Yeah,
your God. It
that's
takes,
right.
I mean, like, it's
It's a
like a
good way of thinking.
superpower.
Yeah,
Oh, like, parang, God, remember me? Ako yung gumawa nito. I mean, like, I made something
yeah,
out of my thoughts.
that's true.
That's the power of creation. I
Mhm.
mean, um, So yun, I wanted to be validated. And I
Mm.
mean, for me, I write
Mm-hmm.
because I have a story to tell.
Mm,
I
that's
mean, don't we all want to be heard? Don't we all want to be seen? Don't we all want to be acknowledged? Our existence to be acknowledged. So I think that's that. That's
yeah.
primarily the reason why I write. Because parang it makes me so happy with
Mm.
people saying na, uy, nabasa ko yung sinulat mo, pero ang pangit. Okay lang yun. Kasi nabasa niya.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Kahit may kasunod na
Nag-spend
super
sila ng time and
super
effort, di ba?
Oo, 'di ba? Oo, parang like, hey, I am making space for my own.
That's
I'm
right.
making space. I'm taking my space. So it's
Yeah.
something that, you know, after writing,
Mm,
it feels so fulfilling
mm,
because it's something that makes me feel validated.
that's
Parang
right.
I made something today and nobody else ever did it. I'm the one who did it first. So parang ganun.
Yeah.
So
Kaya siguro kahit parang super daming writers out there, parang iba pa rin yung dating every piece. Kasi 'di ba,
yeah.
yung way nila ng pag-form ng mga intangible things, yung mga feelings, emotions, the way they word it always comes out differently. And people have different ways of letting out their stories or sharing their messages to the world, to the audience. Kaya siguro, even if all of us are like experts in writing, di ba? Like, even if
Mhm.
we're
Mhm.
super good at it, even if we reach that level na lahat tayo super galing na, it won't
Mhm.
hindi pa rin possible na the way we form the words, yung arrangement natin sa kanila, parang it's always going to be different with every person, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Kasi I mean, as selfish it may sound,
Yeah.
but it's also humbling
Yeah.
na like there's a lot of people who can do better than I can do,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's
I
true.
have to take pride on my work.
Mm-hmm.
And I have I mean it's not like it's not a pie, di ba? Na
Mm-hmm.
parang if I take pride in my work, I'm belittling the work of others. It's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
If I can take pride of my work and
Mm-hmm.
I can take pride of others' work as well. I
That's
can be proud of what they did.
that's
Well,
true.
I'm proud of what I did. So parang ganun.
Yeah, and you always have this kind of like amusement, like fascination when you read other people's work and they're like, oh, they're so better. Maybe I can write like this way too, diba? Like
Yeah.
eventually the talent of other people when you get to like absorb it on your own, parang nakikita mo rin yung sarili mo nag-i-improve. But you don't always notice it, diba? Kasi of course
Yeah, yeah.
you don't always
It's
see your
gradual.
progress. Yeah. You don't always see your
Mm-mm.
improvement. That's the thing
Yeah,
about
and it's
writing.
not toxic, you know. It's not
Mm-mm, that's true.
toxic. So parang like I see someone better than me and I want to be like them, but I don't want to pull them down.
That's right.
O, 'di ba? Happy
Mm-hmm.
tayo lahat.
Yeah. Yung the way you want to just hindi naman sa gusto mong gayahin. Parang
Yeah,
gusto
yeah.
mo lang talagang mahanap rin yung parang point mo na, okay, ito pala yung style ko talaga.
Yeah.
Ganon, di
Yeah.
ba? Like, the way you adapt other people's style up until you find your very identity talaga in writing. Siguro yun ang
Yeah. Yeah.
pinakamaganda, di ba? Yung peak,
Yes,
right? Yung parang,
that's
okay,
it.
dito pala ako magaling. This is how I tell
Oo.
my story. Di ba?
Yeah. Basically, yes.
When you finally see na, okay, this is what makes me unique from the other writers. This is what's gonna make me Carla or
Mhm.
Ava, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah. Oo.
Pero,
Ganun.
was there a point ba na, siyempre, di ba, mahirap talaga magsulat and who would have thought na at some point you'd get published? It's always a dream, di ba? It's always a dream,
Yeah.
but when you think about it, it's so hard. You don't know where to start. You don't know how you're gonna achieve it. Was there ever an instance where you like just wanted to let go of your passion? Like you think it's too difficult to continue?
Yeah, basically yes. Basically yes.
Can you share about that
um, um,
experience?
I was writing
Mm-hmm.
elementary and then high school. When I got to college kasi I had a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So, parang naging tunnel vision. Nagkaroon ng tunnel vision na,
Yeah.
okay, I have to focus on this
Mm.
certain, like on studying biology because I have to excel, because I have to keep my scholarship. I have to graduate with honors. Parang
Mm.
ganon. Yung
That's
parang, yun yung naging timeline ko nung
yeah.
nag-college ako. So, I didn't have, I
Time.
did write, but it's not as focused. Na parang, naging, yun, napunta siya sa back burner
Mhm.
yung pagsusulat. It's more of like de-stressing na lang
Yeah.
because I had to focus on my studies.
Mhm.
And so basically I have this game plan nga nung dati na like I have
Anong
to
game plan
graduate. I
yan?
had to graduate
Mhm.
my degree, yung
Mhm.
undergrad, and then I
Mhm.
have to go to grad school, and then after I get my diploma sa undergrad and then my masters,
Mm.
I'll go study literature. Parang
Mm.
gano'n.
Yun yung
Tapusin
pa
ko muna
that's the plan.
tapusin ko muna lahat.
Lahat.
Tapusin ko muna lahat tapos babalik ako sa ganito. Yun yung game
Mm.
plan ko.
Yun yung plan.
Oo, but then, plans never really work out.
That's right.
I mean, like, there's a lot of, derailments along the
Yeah,
way.
that's true.
So, yeah. When I graduated, parang, I lost the idea. I mean, because I was a good student. Di
Mm.
sa pero like I know how to study well. I
That's
know
right.
how to get to school
Mm.
early. I know how to like
Proud.
I mean I know how to like
Proud.
be the teacher's pet. Parang alam mo yung
Mm.
student na parang
Like you know
alam
what you want and you know
yeah,
how to get
I know how to be a good student, but
it. Mhm.
after graduation kasi I'm no longer a student. So
Mhm.
I kind of felt off. Parang
Okay.
it's like alam mo yung nag-stand ka sa like stable na surface, and then after graduation parang hindi mo alam kung
Hindi
saan
mo
ka
na alam
pupunta kasi
yung
hindi ka saan, bakit ba ako mag-aaga sa school, hindi na ako mag-school, ba't
true.
ba ako magiging teacher's pet, di
Mm.
naman ako student. So yun parang it felt really weird
Mhm.
to say na
Yung
parang
transition na yun.
yeah, it's like so quick. And
Mhm.
I didn't have time to actually, I mean, I had a hard time adjusting.
Mhm.
So I didn't write. I did not study. I did not
Ah.
study master's degree agad. So
Mhm.
like there's this 7 month na parang uh, wala akong ginawa.
Hmm.
Hindi ko maalala anong ginawa ko nung time na yun. But I wasn't writing. I'm sure I wasn't writing.
Or may buffer something.
Yeah, parang nag-buff ako. Saan ba ako pupunta after? So yun. It was also that time na parang ayoko na magsulat, nakakapagod na. And
Hmm.
then yeah, even until now, like I'm still writing, no. I want to write. I still have those prompts that I list
Mm, that
down to write. But those days talaga, may araw talaga na parang
ayaw.
nagba-buff talaga.
That's
Parang
right.
alam mo yung
Writer's
okay.
block. 'Di ba?
Ewan ko ba kung block ba yun? Ba't ang laki-laki? Ilang oras kang nakaupo sa harap ng computer,
Yes,
wala kang masulat. Tapos,
true.
eventually, natutulog na lang ako. Kasi wala talaga Ba't ko pipilitin sarili ko? Tamad
Mhm.
ako magpilit sa sarili ko So, yun. I eventually fall asleep and wala. Pagkagising ko, wala pa rin. So, yun. I just
Mahirap
go.
mahirap talaga like mag-isip, 'di ba? Kasi minsan you're just stuck with a blank page and parang andun lagi yung weight na kailangan maganda yung
Yeah.
masulat mo, 'di ba? And every first sentence feels wrong, 'di ba?
Yeah.
That's the hardest part,
Oo. Yung
'di
parang,
ba?
or parang like you're already 50% or 70% through. Tapos
Mm.
binabasa mo siya. Tapos
Tapos ayaw mo.
essentially, ba't ganito? Ang pangit. Okay, I have to
Yeah.
scrap this. Balik ka back to zero.
Okay, yeah. Tapon ng scratch, ulit na naman.
Ulit
May
naman.
natural tendency talaga pag, like yung, alam mo yun, perfectionist when it comes to writing. Right? So, ikaw, dun sa, like, with your anthology subject, how did you arrive at that? Kasi sabi mo, di ba, mahirap talagang mag-isip kung anong susulatin and stuff. So, out of the many things that you could have considered writing, how did you arrive at that specific theme about, like, the question na you had at
Mhm.
third grade? Kasi imagine, the timeline is, it's like super far. So, how were you able
Yeah.
to, like, come up na, oh, I remember this question. It's like my prompt na I want to use for this anthology Silakbo.
Mhm. Okay, I was initially kasi,
Mm.
I've always wanted to write. Nasa isip ko na talaga na magsulat or like
Oo.
na magsulat about the small and the
Oh, okay.
ordinary.
Ah,
Okay, parang
okay.
parang okay, I need to find something na parang I wanted it to be ordinary. I wanted it to be small.
Mm.
And actually, ang first na pumasok is the last part.
Ah,
Yung
okay.
panghuli.
Like backwards.
Parang naisip ko, bakit ganito? So I had this idea na of the
Mm-mm.
ending, but
Oo.
I don't know how to start. So
Mm-mm.
I think I was like browsing through the internet and all
Mm-mm.
that stuff. And then those may sa Facebook, I was in Facebook. And then there's this ad na
Yes.
parang I think it's about ano it's about God na parang
Mm-mm.
like may mga ad ng mga
Yes, oo.
Christian beliefs na
True.
parang and
Tas
then
doon na pumasok.
oo, tapos biglang oh but parang like there's this line na parang uh God kuno lives in a lot of ano ba in a lot of small things.
Mm-mm.
And then so yun pinasok ko lang siya,
Mm-mm.
sinulat ko na lang siya. It's just like, okay, ang ganda ng line na 'to, sulat ko
Parang
'to,
light bulb.
magamit ko. Oo. Hindi,
Light
hindi pa
bulb.
siya light bulb that time. Tapos,
Okay.
I was, yun, nagsa-scroll pa ako. Tapos
Mm-mm.
biglang nakita ko yung, I don't know, it's a reel. I think it's a
Mm-mm.
reel. It's si Nightbird
Mm-mm.
from I think it's from an AGT episode na parang sinabi niya na parang doon ko nakita yung parang ah she's so brave. Tas, hinanap ko yung blog niya.
Oo.
Doon ko nakita, God is on the bathroom floor. Parang,
Mm.
wow!
Ang
Doon ko
ganda ng
nakita, oh.
line.
Parang, okay, God is in
It's
the
on the
small
back.
and ordinary. Okay,
Mm-mm.
God is on the bathroom floor. Yun sabi niya eh. I had to change it. God
Mm-mm.
is in the small and ordinary. So,
Ah.
yun. And then I realized, oh nga pala, when I was young, kaya, ito
Tsaka,
pala yung
tsaka mo na na-connect yung question
okay.
ng third grade.
Oh, parang bigla ko nga, oh, yun
Oo,
pala,
light
God is
switch na ng light bulb.
oo, okay,
Yun na talaga
yun.
yung
Tapos
switch.
naalala ko yung teacher ko nung ano,
Third grade.
oo.
Yun na
Tapos
pumasok yung
tapos yung question sa utak ko, buhay pa kaya si ma'am? Yeah, gladly, buhay pa siya.
Yeah. So, sana alam niya na she was able to inspire like a published author. Diba?
Yeah.
So, that's super great. Diba yun talaga yung happiest point of being a writer? Yung may idea ka na, okay, ito pala yung gusto kong isulat. Diba?
Oo,
Pero
parang,
after,
so thank
pero
you,
after
Lord.
mong ma-finalize yung idea, easy na ba yung flow? Like, dire-diretso na yung pagsulat? Was it was it
Ay,
the easy part no? Or may ano pa tayo? May parang exciting part, difficult part, gano'n?
difficult is, siguro medyo heavy yung word na difficult, but I would say na it wasn't easy. Pero
Mm,
hindi yun pero hindi siya imposible gawin, you
mm,
know. So basically I already have point B, which is
mm.
the ending,
Yung
and I have
ending.
point A.
Eh,
So parang
kung paano mo
okay,
na lang siya
I
i-connect yung
already
mga
have
in
all this.
between.
Paano ko ba to i-connect? So
Mm,
I had so what really happened was since I write a lot most
mm,
of the time, 'di ba? I write to distress, to let out my feelings, I
mhm.
mean, ganun. So I actually like brought out everything, all the journals I've kept all over the years.
Wow!
And I had to write, I had to read through them para ako nag-trip to memory lane.
Oo, totoo.
Oo. So, basically, yun. And then I had, ang tawag ko kasi sa mga ganun, literary fodder eh.
Mm.
So,
Siguro, siguro it's natural for us, di ba, like, to be sentimental talaga. Yung nagkikip ng
yeah.
mga notes, yung mga
Yeah, I'm
journal.
such a hoarder. So,
Yeah, hoarder talaga. Kasi, iniisip ko, hala, baka someday magamit natin siya as writing prompts, di ba?
yeah.
So,
Pero, di
ano,
ba? Ang honor
mm,
naman nun,
true.
sinusulat kayo.
So, for your Silakbo journey, what was the most challenging part for you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think yun, yung pinaka-challenging part ko,
Yung pag-come
it's
up.
yung getting from point A to
Point
point
A,
B.
okay.
Oo. So
Connecting all the
parang
details na gusto mong
yeah,
lagay sa story mo.
oo. Yeah, and while also keeping the idea na
Mhm.
small and ordinary, small and
Mm.
ordinary, small and ordinary. So yun, I think what I did or what I asked myself at that time was, when was the time that I felt loved by small and ordinary
Small
things?
things.
Yes, yun lang.
Mm.
So I had to look for it. So
Mm.
yun.
Ang mahirap talaga sa mga, like, when you're writing stuff, it's always easy to, alam mo yun, parang lumayo ka sa topic, di ba? Minsan, alam mo
Mm.
yung idea mo, pero eventually, parang lumalayo ka kapag nagdudugtong-dugtong na yung stories, di ba? So
Yes,
that's the
yes.
hard part din
Parang ang
talaga.
bilis maano ng trail of thought
Yeah,
mo,
true.
parang
Yung point A
ma-derail
from
siya.
point B, parang ang dami mo pong pwedeng pasikot-sikot. And yung ano, yung uh,
Yeah, that's true.
yung the many choices of what you can write, diba? Yung the many ideas, you don't know how to put it all out in a way na
Yeah.
hindi siya overwhelming sa readers, right?
Mm. Yeah, parang nagaganito sila eh.
Mm-mm.
Parang hindi sila nagla-line, walang pila na pumapasok sa utak ko.
True.
Parang from all directions. Oy, tas you can't stop kasi if you
Yeah.
stop, you lose that thought.
Yeah, true. Yung challenge talaga is how would you connect your ideas in a way that would capture the attention of
Mhm.
your audience, your readers. Diba?
Mhm.
It's always the difficult part, yung trying to see how you're gonna capture, diba?
Yeah.
The attention of the readers. Kasi what if
Mm.
the message that you're trying to tell them, what if they disagree? Diba?
Yeah.
What if they don't like the small things? Diba? What if there are
Exactly,
people
exactly.
what if there are
Yeah.
people who love the extravagant stuff? Pero di ba meron talaga namang mga ganun? Like different love language
Yeah.
talaga.
Yes, that's true. That's
That's
true.
true. So having been an author of this anthology, do you think it's more interesting? Kasi di ba very diverse talaga ng topics na nakita natin dun sa book. So having been an author, what do you think is more interesting? Do you think it's more interesting yung mga tragic, ganon, or yung sad, or yung mga happy endings talaga, like something that makes you hopeful?
I
Which
mean,
do you, Mhm.
if I were the reader,
Reader?
or if I were the reader, I think uh for me lang ha,
Ah,
uh
ikaw.
I don't u- I don't usually find I mean, mas hinahanap ko kasi yung mga nagre-resonate sa akin. It's not
Mm,
necessarily happy.
happy.
So parang oo, so yun. Parang kahit masakit, like say for example, Tuesdays with Maury, yun.
Ah,
Masakit yun.
OMG.
Masakit yun.
Wait.
Or
Mm-mm.
I think kay Colleen Hoover, I
Mhm.
remember yung
OMG.
may mga ganun, may mga
Nagbabasa ka rin ba ng Colleen? Which story
oo,
did you, anong
ganun.
story yung nabasa mo? Naging interview portion na
Colleen
din.
Hoover, I
OMG.
can't remember, ano ba yun?
Mhm.
Nasa tip ng tongue ko lang. But yeah, I think also, Fault in Our Stars, masakit yun. But
True.
it feels, I mean, kahit hindi, okay, wala akong friend na nagka-cancer. Wala akong friend na ano, parang
Yeah.
ganon. So, but I feel
Mhm.
that because there's a certain collectiveness
Mhm.
when it comes to pain. I mean, if masakit siya, kasi, say for example, I could write about clouds
Mhm.
because they make me happy and then that's so pretty and ganon, gito. But not everyone could feel the same
Mhm.
with, I mean, they cannot resonate with me
Mhm.
because we have different ideas of what
Mhm.
happy clouds are.
Mhm.
But if we say, for example, it's hurt or pain,
Mhm.
like we can always say that, ouch, I'm hurt. We
Mhm.
don't have to tell them where it actually hurts, but when people see us crying, they know that we're hurt.
Mhm.
Diba? I mean, like, I think there's a special bond
Mhm.
formed by grief.
Yeah, that's true. That's super
Yun.
true.
I mean, yeah. So I think, yeah, pain and
Eh,
sadness and
yeah.
grief is like a very good.
Yeah, true. Kaya siguro most of the stories there, aside from yours, like all the other stories of our authors, they're like more on kind of heartbreak, diba?
Yeah,
Siguro
yeah,
the diversity of the topics, it's what's making it interesting to read kasi, diba, like you're finding a story that resonates with you and minsan you want to read the happy stuff, minsan naman you want those stories that makes you feel intense emotions, diba?
yeah,
We're
yeah.
always looking for that kind of stories kasi, diba? Like yung intense yung mapapafeel sa'yo even if you're not going through that kind of experience, so long as
Ikaw,
ma-feel yeah, so long as ma-feel mo yung pinagdadaanan ng writer, you want to read that
Mhm.
stuff. Kaya maganda yung anthology because it's like it's not just about one, like yung hindi lang siya narrow
Yeah,
down sa isang topic, di ba? It's like iba-iba talaga siya ng
yeah,
direction. That's why readers have the option to choose which one they want to read and depending rin kung saan sila makaka-relate as of the moment, di ba? Mga
yeah.
ganun.
And I think it's very important that there's this variety kasi
Mhm.
mas na-highlight, say for example, galing ka lang sa sobrang sakit.
Mhm.
Galing ka
Yeah.
lang sa sobrang sad. Tapos
Mhm.
biglang, tapos after na
Happy.
nabasa mo, uy, mas
Light read.
na-appreciate ko yung,
That's
yes,
true.
na-appreciate mo yung
Mhm.
lightness ng nakasunod. Kasi, parang, oh, this is so good. Kasi dito, ganito yung na-experience
Yeah,
niya. Tapos,
nagkakaroon ng
eto naman
contrasting
yung,
effect yung emotion.
nagkakaroon ng contrast. Oh, tapos
Yeah.
na-appreciate mo na, oh, it's not so bad after all. And
Yeah.
I want to value this one. Parang ganon.
Yeah. And
So, I
plus
think
the
it's
fact that
good.
like they're true stories, diba? Plus the fact that they're real, it
Yes.
makes you think na, grabe, it exists, wala, it
Yes.
happens all around
In
us,
real life.
'di ba?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the people
Yeah.
beside you, yung mga
Mhm.
nakakatabi mo sa
Mhm.
jeepney, sa train, pag nagko-commute ka or nakakasalubong mo lang, they all have different
Yeah.
stories talaga na we know nothing about. And sometimes they carry huge stories with them. Kaya it's always
Yeah.
important
Yeah.
talaga to be like kind, ganon, to be understanding
Mhm.
of people
Mhm.
kasi we have no idea of what they're going through or what they went through. 'Di ba? Kaya super
Yeah, that's
important
true.
tong mga gantong like stories kasi it keeps memories, right? Parang remnants siya,
Yeah.
like pieces.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and also it helps you understand
Mhm.
people from a different point of view. Like
Mhm.
it's very good na parang like cause these are real stories, no?
Yeah,
So
totoo.
parang nakikita mo yung say for example, you're a city girl, tas
Mhm.
nakakabasa ka ng experience ng someone who is
In
from
the
the
province,
countryside.
yeah,
You
countryside.
didn't have kasi there's this thing that we call vicarious learning na
Mhm.
parang we don't need to experience yung hindi natin kailangan experience yung mga na-experience nila for us to empathize with them.
Mhm,
We
that's
just
true.
have to know their stories.
Yeah.
Like, oh, makinig lang tayo. We have to be open
Mhm.
to what they have to say. Listen to them. Tapos, yun. I think it's really good. It helps us
Yeah.
empathize.
Like
It helps us empathize.
the way they write, the way they put it out, like parang they're keeping an account of what went through with their lives, ganon. Like even the
Mm-hmm.
ugliest parts they don't want to share, pero they
Yeah.
had the courage to write about, and then it get published, and alam mo
Mm.
yun, it makes you understand hindi lang yung story nila, like them as a person. Diba? Even if you don't know,
Yes.
kasi you're reading different stories of different writers. Eh. So like you're trying to connect with people na you might never have the chance to meet in real life, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically you're reading stories of strangers. Pero it's a very beautiful thing to be able to connect and empathize with them just because of the stories they're
Yes.
trying to share, 'di ba? That's the beauty of
Yeah.
the
That's
story.
true.
Yeah, kaya super ang ganda talaga yung anthology. So guys, bilhin na kayo. So, how about you when you like when you went through the books, the different stories? What's something that you learned from it?
Hmm. I think what I learned or what I gathered from it is that
Mhm.
it was kasi Silakbo is one of those books na alam mo talagang galing sa puso. Alam
Yeah,
mo yun, yung
totoo.
parang it's really a good read, and what made it good is because these are raw stories from
Mhm,
people
totoo.
na parang real from real people. So personally, I think this just reinforced my 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 thought or my
Mhm.
idea sa the God of Small Things na parang love could come in various forms and packages, and each one is just as valid as the other.
Mhm.
Parang say if it's a dog that you love, that's still love. If
Yeah.
it's my dad that I love, it's still love. If it's my crush who is from one
Mhm.
subject, the reason why I went to this school, that's still love. Or
Yeah.
if it's me doing my monologue in front of a mirror saying that I love you to
Yeah,
myself,
true.
that's still love. It's valid. Like every story there is just a very very loud proclamation na love is always, or love has different forms,
Yeah,
and
true.
love is always valid.
Mm.
Like parang nasagot talaga ng
Totoo.
actually this book,
Mhm.
siya yung nagsagot ng question na if God is love, what
Yeah,
does God look
true.
like? And I
Like
think that's
basically
really really
yung story
powerful.
mo, 'di ba? Parang na-capture niya lahat.
Parang sinagot na yung question ko ng grade 3 ako.
Yeah. Parang na-capture
So
niya
it's
na.
really powerful.
Mhm. Who would have thought,
Yeah,
'di ba, na
so
yung teacher mo nung grade 3, who would have thought na one of her question or one of the idea that she sparked sa utak mo, it's gonna get answered like few years after or like a lot of years after. Perhaps siguro decades, di ba? So that's really
I
a
think
good
18,
ah
19,
wow. So
9 years ata. Yeah.
debutant na pala yung idea natin.
Yeah.
So that's really good. Kasi for me, it's like a really good written. Kasi like in the past years, I've been leaning more towards fictional books, diba? Kasi
Yeah.
it's hard to find stories that are real. I mean, like yung
Mm-hmm.
non-fiction. Pero if we do find non-fiction stories, it could either be like science, ganon, like mathematics, like all those academic stuff, or kaya yung mga self-growth books wherein they give you advices, ganon. It's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
It's a good topic. Pero yung to be able to find this yung anthology, something that combines all the people's experiences na every page you turn,
Yeah.
it's different story. That's like it surprises you, diba?
Oh,
Plus,
it feels like walking into a room filled
yeah,
with those people and like, tell me your story.
yeah. So like it's like going into a hallway with different doors. Tapos you're allowed to open
Yeah.
each one, and you're not
Yes.
you don't know what you're going to see when you open the
Fine.
door,
Yeah.
right? Diba?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm. That's
it's a
it.
really ano rin. And the fact na like you as a writer, the fact na alam mo yung one of the doors belong to you and other people are going to open that door then that's a beautiful feeling
Yeah.
din. To be, kasi di ba minsan nakakahiya as writers na mag-share ka ng story, di ba? Sometimes it's even
Oh
like
my God,
embarrassing.
yes. Especially to strangers.
Yeah, totoo.
Mm,
So to be able to have that courage talaga to put out your message and to share your story, it's a really good thing. Plus, the fact na when you're filled with fictional books, it makes you, ano, like, it also fills you with unrealistic expectations, di ba? Kasi,
yeah.
and it makes you, the anthology, Silakbo, it makes you realize na, like, love, it's often, it's the calm, right? The unnoticeable part
Yeah.
and you won't even
Mm-hmm.
recognize
Mm-hmm.
it kasi minsan it's really ano like super small like what you said. It's like the
Yeah.
ordinary things talaga na you take for granted. But when you read
Yeah.
people's stories, when you see how easy it is to spot those emotions, di
Yeah.
ba?
Yeah.
Both na yung fact na realize mo na it's both in the happy and the tragic parts. It made me think talaga na like we're so lucky to know what it is to be loved and to be loved, to know
Yeah.
what it feels to give and to receive those emotions. Plus, the thing pa, diba, it's not just romantic yung topic. Like, it's
Yeah.
platonic then, family, whatever it is. Diba?
But there's a dog as well.
Yeah, and meron ding about clouds, right? Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I remember
So,
that one.
we should, ano talaga, people should definitely buy it.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah. Definitely.
if you're gonna convince our like viewers, what would you like to say to them? Is it worth buying the book?
Why not? Diba?
Yeah.
Why not? Diba? I mean, like, really, I mean, Silakbo is one of those great reads na uulit-ulitin mo. I think
Yeah.
I've read the book, I don't know, 10 times. But, um, kasi parang, pagka-ulit mo, there's
Mm-hmm.
something different that will catch your attention. And then parang, bawat salita kasi, bawat linya, nakikita mo talaga na parang galing sa, ano talaga,
Mm-hmm.
galing sa puso ng
Totoo.
nagsusulat. And I think that authenticity is something na, like, you will never find that in other, I mean, because it's a real, it's an anthology na parang punong-puno ng authenticity. So,
Mm-hmm. Totoo.
yeah, yun yung nagpapa-special sa kanya
The
because
fact that it's real.
the fact the fact that it's so real,
Mm-hmm.
na it's written by people who actually went through this. And um there's also this time na there's also this part na parang, okay, for us it's just ordinary, but then when people, or once if someone wrote about it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's love for them, and parang naiisip mo sa sarili mo, yeah, I didn't think of that. Thanks for
Mm-hmm.
this. Like, parang, and then you will look at that, say for example, clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Para sa kanya, it's like ganon, sobrang ang love niya for clouds. And then yung iba siguro, to say na, parang, talaga? Ganun pala siya? Oh, that's really good. I mean, like, I haven't had this cloud for a long time.
You haven't
Parang,
had that thought
yeah,
then that
di ko siya
appreciate.
na-appreciate. Ngayon, after reading it, na-appreciate mo na. And for someone like me who is into clouds as well, parang naisip, oh, I'm not the only one. So like there's this part na parang we're all just the same deep down. We
That's
all just
true.
want to love and be loved.
Mm.
So that book, Silakbo, my God.
You should definitely buy it because it's about
Yes, buy it. It's
it's
worth
like
it.
it's like having the privilege to take a part of someone's life because like they're
Mhm.
sharing you a part of them, and it's a beautiful thing to
Mhm.
know these strangers, to know these people na even if we never had a chance to meet them, or even if we never had a chance to alam mo yun yung parang jamming or bonding, like the typical friendship events na yung mga ganap na okay, sharing of stories, the
Yeah.
fact that they're able to just put out this message and just connect with you, even if you may never
Yeah.
have the chance to meet them. It's such a good read talaga, 'di ba?
Yes, yes.
So,
Basically,
how
honestly.
did the book contribute to your growth as a writer? Like
Uh,
personally.
okay. I think it made me more believe in myself more, especially with my writing. Kasi dati, sobrang hirap
Mm,
ipabasa yung
mabasa yung
ginagawa mo,
ginagawa mo.
especially with people you don't know. I
Mm,
mean, like my audience actually is limited to 3 or 4
mhm,
people who are my friends.
mhm,
Now, I mean, like, I don't even know who's reading the story. So, I mean, I thought that I could write. Yes,
mm-mm.
maybe I thought I could write, but I never thought that I could be published. So, kaya ko pala, 'di ba? So,
Yeah.
I think it's the
It made
best.
you realize things about yourself that you weren't even aware before, diba? So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really helped a lot of people grow as writers, especially those who never had the chance to have their
Yeah.
stories read, diba? So it's a really
Mhm.
not just the book but also the opportunity that it provided to writers, right? So what would
Yeah.
you like to say, like for example, to the audience regarding the upcoming anthologies of IndieCo?
Abangan nila, charot.
Yeah,
Abangan niyo.
mag-submit kayo.
Mag-submit kayo, really, but you should watch out for the upcoming anthologies kasi exciting lahat.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yun.
right. The topic is always something that you would alam mo yun, exciting, pero there's always something, some story
Yeah.
na pwede mong
Yeah.
ma-share, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Oh,
honestly.
okay. So before this ends, would you like to give us some writing tips first? Kasi 'di ba, for being a published writer, how would you recommend other people to write their drafts then? Is if in case magkaroon din sila ng ganun parang buffer yung writer's block na sobrang
Okay.
tagal or malaki.
I think siguro if you have writer's
Mhm.
block, you have
Mhm.
and the remove it, or better yet,
Mhm.
work around it. So, also, okay, that it's very important then to just remind yourself na masulat ka lang, write your heart out. I have this thing na di ba sa Microsoft Word, you
Mhm.
can choose the colors of
Oo,
the
yung color.
font, di
Oo,
ba?
the font.
Yung white background. I switched the colors into white. So,
Ah.
hindi ko nababasa yung tina-type ko. It's like,
Oh,
I don't know what it's called. Basta, isusulat ko lang kung ano yung gusto ko.
naiisip
Kasi
mo.
minsan, kasi minsan, isa sa ano sa atin, yung nagre-read na
Oo,
yung grammar natin. Kasi binabasa natin eh.
true.
The point there is that you just write your heart out.
Mhm.
And, pangatlo, y- rely on people to
Mm,
mentor you, to help you, to
that's
critique you.
super
Kasi
true.
nobody gets to be a good writer on their own.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Super
basically
true.
yun lang.
Pero super
So,
ganda nung advice na yun na you turn your writing in
Yeah,
font color,
yeah,
it's white. I'm gonna do that too. Di ba? Kasi
yeah,
our tendency talaga is we're gonna read and read. Tapos we're gonna get
yeah.
dissatisfied, di ba? Like, okay, I don't like what I'm
Uh,
writing. I don't, I want to
oh,
change the entire paragraph. Ganon.
oh,
It doesn't sound catchy. Ganon. So that's a really helpful tip na
sad.
if parang in a way nagdi-disappear yung sinusulat mo and you just read it as a whole in the end. And ano
Mm.
naman in the end, minsan like they're saying grammar is not really that important when you're writing, right? Kasi minsan the way we want
Yeah.
to word out our thoughts, ideas, is not really that important. Kaya yung mga nagre-read something, minsan hindi na
Oh,
dapat yun yung like super focus. Sometimes it's all about
yeah.
how you want to reach talaga like the message, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yung point lang naman doon is that you have to let your thought out. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, ipalabas mo lang.
Yeah,
Mahirap na pag kinikimkim mo, di ba?
that's true. So thank you so much for that advice talaga. And I hope our audience will be able to adapt it. That's technique then of what you're doing. That ends
Yeah.
our interview.
Thank you
Thank you so
din.
much, Ava, for that like fruitful conversation. I learned a lot from you, your stories, your perception, and it's a really like great conversation where we're able to talk about not just the what you've written, not just about the book, but like everything about writing that other people can take and adapt then to their lives. So thank you so much. I love all your insights and advices. So do you have any like
Thank
last
you.
words or anything that you want to say?
Thank you and ingat lahat.
Okay. So for
And
those of you who haven't
keep
read,
reading.
or for those of you who haven't like bought the book yet, you may purchase it now through a QR code in our page, and it's also through available in Shopee, Lazada, and the Eight Letters website. So that's all for our first interview. Again, this is Starlight, wishing you a happy and lovely weekend. Bye bye.
Bye.